Hey guys, now we're at M Cha Bar on Bloor, just across the street from Kong Cafe. Actually, I just crossed the street and got another drink for this video. I thought I would film a second video since it's such a nice day outside. So yeah, we're here. Let me show you around. This is the front of the store. Yeah. So that's what it looks like. There we go. And I got the large Peachy Dream. It's a very floral, aromatic, like perfumey tea. I would say it's like a lighter version, peachy version of Earl Grey almost. And it has tapioca, agar bubble, and aloe vera inside. The agar bubble or the aloe vera, I'm not sure, kind of has like a salty taste to it, which wasn't the case when I first tried this drink in a different location. So this isn't the best Peachy Dream I've had. But it's still nice and refreshing, so I would say it's like a 8.5 out of 10. I really want to talk about how our beliefs, our subconscious, I guess, conditioning, our mindset, our perspective really changes how we perceive and experience social interactions and like life in general. Depending on your mindset, depending on your beliefs, you can receive and perceive a compliment as an insult, which is like the opposite of what was intended, right? I came across an Instagram reel the other day where a woman was talking about how she gave a genuine compliment to this Korean barista, saying that he looked like her favorite like Thai actor, and he perceived that compliment as an insult because he believed that Thai people were less than Koreans because of, I don't know, their skin tone, their skin color, due to the fact that Koreans usually think that they're more modern compared to Thai people. So instead of receiving the compliment as a compliment, he perceived it as an insult to his appearance. He thought that, you know, being compared to a Thai actor was insulting rather than a compliment. So, you know, the woman was taken aback and kind of upset, understandably so, that her compliment backfired. And it really goes to show how our beliefs shape our perception and shape the way we experience life and reality and social interactions. Someone could be approaching us with good intentions, with positive intentions, and due to our upbringing, our traumas, whatever, we could perceive that person's good intentions as either dangerous or negative or having like some hidden agenda. So depending on our subconscious programming, depending on our beliefs, our upbringing, our culture, our mindset, our mood, our energy levels, we can misconstrue, misunderstand, misinterpret reality to varying degrees. We can misinterpret people's intentions, people's words to varying degrees. So what we're perceiving as reality, what we're perceiving as the person's emotions, thoughts, words, intentions, are at least a little bit different than objective reality, right? There's no such thing as 100% understanding of the situation. Even if we try our best to be flexible and non-judgmental and understanding and open-minded, we can't reach 100% true understanding of any given situation, any given social interaction or event in our lives, right? There is always going to be a margin of error, and depending on the difference in cultural upbringing, depending on traumas, upbringing, conditioning, whatever, the margin of error between what's actually happening and how you perceive it could be more or less different. So like the margin of error between what's actually happening and how you're perceiving could be as little as 5%, as little as maybe even 1%, and as big as 100%, right? You might completely misinterpret what's happening and perceive it as its opposite. So if someone's giving you a compliment, you might perceive it as an insult or a jab or an accusation or whatever. So that made me realize how personal we take some things, how often we get offended for things that aren't even there. I'm trying to be more careful with social interactions, with my interpretations and perception of my reality. Instead of getting offended or taking things personally, I try to kind of step back from that judgment, from that perception, and I try to logically reason with myself that my perception of reality could be very different than what's actually happening, than what's actually intended. If someone is frustrated and stressed and angry, usually the default reaction that I have is like, are they bothered by my presence? Like, am I bothering them? But usually that's not the case. Usually, they're just stressed or angry or frustrated about something that they're dealing with personally. Like, I have nothing to do with that emotional distress, right? So just taking a step back and realizing that things are actually more positive than we take them to be, realizing that things could be the complete opposite of what we're interpreting them as, helps to like create a buffer between you and reality, between you and other people's reactions, and between you and the social interaction that you're having. Realizing that, most people, most of the time, have good intentions, realizing that most things aren't about you, and just being aware that you have a filter that you cannot remove when you're experiencing reality. Just being aware that you are filtering reality through your beliefs, through your subconscious conditioning, and just accepting that you have this filter. You don't know what the filter even looks like most of the time because you always have it on. And just like giving yourself grace, giving other people grace, and being more understanding and accepting of yourself and other people, I think is the way forward. We usually assume that we have like rose-colored glasses on, right? But usually it's not just rose-colored. It's a variety of different colors for different situations, different circumstances. Different situations evoke different emotions that come from your past. You might have green-colored glasses when you're experiencing a certain situation, and then rose-colored glasses. And unfortunately, no matter how much healing we do, no matter what we do to get rid of our limiting beliefs, let go of past emotions, traumas, they still form a filter through which we perceive reality, right? We can never get rid of our filter when we're perceiving reality, when we're perceiving and interpreting the world around us. So even though we would want to perceive reality objectively, that's not possible. Reality is always subjective, and And so depending on our beliefs, depending on our past experiences and emotions and traumas and cultural upbringing, we might be perceiving compliments as insults. We might be perceiving a comment as an accusation. We might be perceiving a question as judgment. We might be perceiving curiosity as disrespect or condescension or judgment. And I think that happens to a lot of people, including myself, where we perceive and interpret someone's comments or questions as negative. I guess that's due to our negativity bias, but just being aware of that, being aware that we interpret and perceive reality with a margin of error, big or small. We can't even know what that margin of error looks like, how big it is. Just being aware that our perception isn't objective reality will help us to maneuver social interactions and the world around us with more grace, with more compassion, with more understanding, with more flexibility and open-mindedness, and just like not judging things so quickly because we don't know what the reality of the situation is at any given time, right? Yeah, so that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel and checking out my other videos. I would very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Take care. Bye.